Let's see. What do we got? Trump hosts visit with the officials from the Democratic Republic of the Congo and
She has a
Rwanda.
story to share with the press, with the media, and with these two fantastic leaders who have joined you today. So, Ariana, please.
Why don't you come up here and talk so they can see?
Sure.
That'd be great. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr.
It's a great honor.
Thank you, Mr. President. So as Caroline has mentioned, President, first of all, I want to let you know that I'm the only African reporter accredited here at the White House and I cover for the entire continent.
Oh,
I
okay.
just
So she's
arrived
the
from Congo.
so
Democratic
she's the
Republic of Congo yesterday.
main reporter.
I went
in a
to see
sense.
firsthand how the people is feeling and the president's message, President Felix Tshisekedi, about this upcoming peace deal.
So
And
I'm
let me
guessing
tell
this
you
is her
firsthand
first
what
time
I've
to the
witnessed
United
myself.
States.
I spoke with the people on the street. I spoke with youth. They know your name. They know that a president named President Trump is working hard to finally bring peace to the country. I saw hope. They have hope now for a better day in Congo. They see what you're doing as a future, better future for Congo. And I had opportunity to sit down with President Felix Tshisekedi for an interview because I want to understand his mind, what he's thinking, his feeling about everything that your administration is doing. And he told me firsthand that for many years, many American presidents overlooked this conflict. They didn't do nothing. Even myself, I cover President Biden's administration. I pressed many times about this conflict. People are dying in Congo. This country has so much potential,
excuse
but
me.
they need help because this war is destroying the country. They never gave me any answer. And he told me, President Tshisekedi, that you have no idea, he's very thankful for what you're doing, for what your administration is doing, not only him, the entire Congolese people. They see that finally they will have hope. And President Tshisekedi also mentioned at the end of my interview that when peace finally comes to the Democratic Republic of the Congo, he's thinking to nominate you as a Nobel Prize Peace because he said you deserve, you have been working to bring peace in the world, not only at the Congo, and he's very hopeful to meet you in the future.
That's so nice, boy, and that's so beautifully stated. And Caroline said, number one, she did say, and I shouldn't say this because it's politically incorrect, she said, she's beautiful. And you
Oh, Jesus!
I'm not
God
allowed to
damn
say
it,
that,
Trump!
you know,
What
that
the fuck
could be
are you
the end
doing?
of my political career, but I said it anyway. But you are beautiful, and you're
Jeez,
beautiful
man.
inside. So I
I
wish
was
I had more
fucking
reporters like
buttering
you.
her
So you covered
My God.
Africa for a long time?
Yes, for over 10 years.
Wow.
I cover even your first administration.
Yes, I know that. That's great. Well, thank you. That's so nice that you said that.
And I have one more question,
Yes.
Mr. President. Since we know in July or in the future, both President of Rwanda and the Congo will be coming
Yes.
to the United States. In Africa, President João Lourenço, the president of Angola, he is also the leader of African Union.
Good.
He
Yes, I know.
worked very hard to bring peace, but unfortunately...
Let's get him here.
Yes, that's
Okay?
right.
Would you invite him for me?
Of course.
Okay?
Of
No,
course.
we'll have, I know that he works very hard, and he's the head of essentially the union. So the union all over Africa, not the kind of union that we have. This is the union all over Africa, and I'd love to have him, so you'll let him know.
Of course,
Okay.
Mr. President.
Thank you very much.
Thank you,
Good.
Mr.
Now you go back to where you belong,
Sure.
right? That's great. That's a great job. It's real knowledge and real heart, too. Congratulations. Okay. So we're here today to celebrate a glorious triumph, and that's what it is, for the cause of peace. And this is a long time waiting, the signing of a historic peace agreement between the Democratic
wow.
Republic of the
Wow.
Congo and the Republic of Rwanda.
So
The
Trump is now
conflict has
signing a
continued, and
peace
it's been
agreement.
going on for
So
many,
he
many
has
years.
now
It's been going from,
he has now
I guess,
stopped
they
at
say 30
three
years,
conflicts in a
the
sense.
Great Lakes region of Africa for a long time, and maybe even time before that. How is the Great Lakes region? Must be beautiful, right? Beautiful, beautiful region, but they had a lot of war, right? A lot of fighting, a lot of death. It's
This is
displaced
his
countless
third
people and
conflict
claimed the lives of thousands
that he
and
has to get in
thousands,
the
but
middle
today
of.
the violence and destruction comes to an end, and the entire region begins a new chapter of hope and opportunity, harmony, prosperity, and peace. That's been a long time waiting. I said, how long has the war been going? And a friend of mine who was very much involved said 30 years, and at least 6 million people were killed during that period of time. It's
Oh, which one do
incredible.
I put here?
And somebody said that was actually, it's the biggest war on the planet since World War II. So it's a shame, but we're going to bring it to an end. I want to express my gratitude and congratulations to the representatives of the Democratic Republic of the Congo and the Republic of Rwanda, who signed this pivotal agreement a short time ago. They just signed right in front. And let me also thank Secretary of State Marco Rubio, who has worked very hard on this subject, and we've worked
guess
on it
this one.
together, for his outstanding leadership, as well as Senior Advisor for African and Africa Affairs, Mossad Boulos, who's, as you know, spends a lot of his time in Africa, and he's very comfortable there. I said, were you at all uncomfortable with all of the turmoil and all of the killing? And he said, no, I wasn't uncomfortable, and that's what you need. You need somebody that's going to be able to get. So, Mossad, I want to thank you very much for the job you've done. Amazing guy, actually. I also want to thank African Union, Qatar, Togo, for working closely with the United States. And I know Qatar was really working hard, and African Union, we just spoke about that. And I look forward to having them representatives here when we do the official meeting, and that'll be sometime in July. And we look forward to it. And you better be here covering it, okay? You better be, we're not going to stand anybody else covering it but you. But this is a tremendous breakthrough. In a few short months, we've now achieved peace between India and Pakistan, Israel and Iran, and the DRC and Rwanda, and a couple of others also. Serbia, you know, was they were getting ready to go to war with a group I won't even mention because it didn't happen. We were able to stop it, but I have a friend in Serbia, and they said we're going to go to war again, and I won't mention that it's Kosovo, but it's Kosovo.
What?
Big-time
You
war.
just
We
said you
stopped
wouldn't
it. We
mention
stopped
it.
because of trade. They want to trade with the United States.
Look
I said,
at
we don't
God.
trade with people that go to war. And we said that also with, if you take a look at Pakistan and India, it was great. They have
So
two
there's
great
another
leaders,
conflict
two great
brewing.
leaders, and they were able to
As
stop it. We're
usual.
in the midst of a big fight, I guess everybody saw, and it was going to get
Man,
very
it's not
bad.
looking good.
They are nuclear
Right, all these
nations,
small
very powerful
conflicts.
nuclear nations. In the months
Right,
and
if you
years
don't put
ahead,
them out quick,
my
it's not
administration
going to
will
look
continue
good.
to work closely with all of the parties in this deal and ensure the agreements are fully taken care of, and you're going to do what's in the agreement. We'll say you better do what's in that agreement, right? Because if somebody fails to do that, bad things happen. But I have a feeling that after 30 years, I think after 30 years, you're all set.
We are.
I think both of you have said that's enough, right?
That's enough, yes.
That's enough. You've seen it all. So this is a wonderful day. It's a great day. We've had some tremendous success. It's been a great week between just coming back from a very successful trip. NATO's really pulled together. They have. They're going to spend over $1 trillion a year. Nobody expected a thing like that to happen. And we had the war, as you know. We call it the 12-day war. It was exactly a 12-day war, and we ended up with no nuclear weapons. That's what we wanted. And they were just absolutely blown to pieces, those 3 sites. And there's no nuclear weapons, and hopefully there can be a lot of healing, and the healing is starting. And it's been a really pretty amazing week, and this is one that I really look forward to. This was set up a few weeks ago, and it was something that I really look forward to. If we can do this, and we do that because we have a certain competence that's good, we're able to get people to be peaceful. I think we can do war better than anybody, but we don't want to. And we have the greatest military in the world. They showed that in Iran. Those pilots, they
Oh,
flew
because
for
Serbia was
36
supplying
hours.
Ukraine with
and
ammunition.
think of that,
Oh.
and they hit their target. The size of this desk, half the size of this desk, from about 52,000
And then you
feet
had the Kosovo
in the
stuff.
dark
Oh,
of night with no moon,
Christ.
0 moon. They wanted it that way. Can you believe it? And they hit, every missile hit exactly half the size of this beautiful Resolute desk. We don't want to talk about it when it comes to rockets hitting it, but half the size of this, and they hit dead center from tremendous heights, going at tremendous speeds. It's amazing. Nobody could do a thing like that. Nobody has that weaponry, and nobody could do a thing like that. So we had a very busy and successful week. And in addition to that, our economy is doing great. We're setting records with the economy and a lot of other good things happening. But this is about Congo and Rwanda. And I'd like to ask, if I might, would you say a few words before we
Maybe
introduce,
some war effort stuff, who
Thank you, Mr.
knows?
President. Yes. So, under your leadership, Mr. President, and the full support of Secretary Rubio and the entire team at the State Department, we engaged with the two
Unrest
parties in,
between Serbia
early
and
April.
Kosovo.
And within 3 weeks, they signed the Declaration of Principles. And now, within about 2 months from that, we have signed today the final, this is actually the final peace agreement. You know, many people were wondering if this is preliminary. No, this is the actual final peace agreement that they've signed today. You have also expressed interest in inviting the heads of states
Right.
to the White House for a signing ceremony. So there will be some other additional agreements that will be signed. In addition to this, which will become known as the Washington Accord with regards
Oh,
to
wow.
the Great Lakes region.
That's great.
There are some
Why
economic...
not the Trump Accord? I'm only kidding.
The Trump of this guy.
Washington Accord.
The Washington Accord.
There's an economic
So this
aspect
is
as
the-
well that is extremely important for
This
both
will now be
countries.
called
We
the
have also
Washington
worked last week, we
Accord
finalized
between Congo and
the,
Rwanda.
Regional economic integration framework, which both countries will be signing
ERC or Rwanda
at the
officials.
White House here during that ceremony. And
That's going to be a great ceremony.
absolutely.
Right? We're going to make
And,
that a great ceremony and bring other people that were involved, some other people. Besides the gentleman we talked about who we know has worked so hard. If you think there are other people that are deserving, let us know. Okay?
And there will be some bilateral agreements.
What?
we're negotiating
So,
a minerals
making
deal with
embassy
the
mem-
DRC
well,
for
I
critical
wouldn't say.
minerals.
I think she's a
Many American
reporter,
companies have
so-
shown interest in investing
Or
in
like,
the
I guess, her
DRC, and these
co-workers
will
that
talk
help her
about long-term
report
investments. Same thing with Rwanda. Many American companies have shown interest, and not only in mining, but also in the midstream and downstream, which will be the processing of minerals. We're also working and supporting the Lobito corridor, which will help building the infrastructure. Just 2 days ago, the United States signed, and supported a project of $1.5 billion for electric transmission
Right.
from Angola to the DRC. And there are many other projects of that nature lined up. So we will be, under your leadership, Mr. President, we'll be working with the two countries very closely and with the support of Qatar to make sure that this agreement is implemented.
And a lot of our companies are in both of these countries now, especially since we've been getting along so well. It's probably the way we were brought together. And we have a lot of our big companies are there between rare earth and all of the other things that they do in Africa, which is very greatly expanding, especially in these two countries. You have earth, they consider it to be about the best in the world, actually, I've heard. So we're doing a lot of different things, and it's all going to bring everybody together. That's how this all began, I guess. But the big thing is, the big thing for me is there's really only one thing, and that's getting a peace treaty with two countries that have been fighting for 30 years. And but I want to thank you all. Will, if you could, you could bring the letters over.
Of course, sir. So in front of you, as you said, sir, these are the actual agreements that were signed respectively by the foreign ministers of the Democratic Republic of Congo and Rwanda earlier today, witnessed by Secretary Rubio. We've also prepared for you 2 letters. This is to President Paul Kagame of Rwanda, expressing your appreciation and congratulations for everything that's happened already, and of course inviting him to Washington for, as Dr. Bula said, what we hope will be the Washington Accords, finally setting the terms for peace and prosperity in this region, hopefully for a very long time.
That's great.
There it is.
That's beautiful. Very important.
The start
We're going to put a picture in
of
there, right?
the
So this is
Washington
over. We're gonna put- we have
Accord.
a fast-moving photographer, Dan. He's going to put a nice picture of us here. Okay. Thank you. That's for you.
And,
Thank you very
and this is a letter to President Chikisade of the Democratic Republic of Congo, again congratulating him on settling this long-running war and inviting him to Washington, D.C. for the final conclusion of the agreement, hopefully soon.
That's great.
And that's in July, I think they said.
nice, right?
Take the pen, please.
Thank you very much.
Take a pen, on the pen.
So I'd like to ask JD to say a few words, our great Vice President, and then Marco, and go ahead.
Great. Well, first, let me welcome the foreign ministers of Rwanda and Congo.
Oh, this is,
It's great to have you in the
this is
office.
going to be a long one.
And second, let me say congratulations to the
What
President,
up, little
Secretary
pooper?
Rubio, and the
What's
entire
up?
team. I think for the people of these two countries, they should know that the United States is committed to the pathway of peace. But to my fellow Americans, this is really a celebratory moment. This is a big moment for our country because under the President's leadership, we've taken what was 30 years of killing and war, the worst war in terms of death count since World War II, and now we're on a pathway to peace. And so if I think about what I know about these two countries, for 30 years, pretty much the entire time that I can remember these two countries being in the news, much of the story has been about them fighting one another, about them killing
Yeah,
one another.
there
And
has,
now
yeah.
we can look forward
Even
to a
I've seen
future where
some
my
of it
children
off and on.
will look at this moment as the beginning of a new
What's
story,
going
a story
on
of
in this
prosperity and
cult,
of peace.
Bromy?
So
What do you-
thanks
what
to the President,
cult?
congratulations to the entire team, and to my fellow Americans. We should all be really proud.
What do you
because
mean,
It's amazing
cult?
what active presidential leadership can accomplish when it's geared towards peace
This is the
and
Democratic,
prosperity, and that's what we have in the Oval Office right now. So great job, sir.
Republic of Congo and
Marco,
Rwanda.
and then we're going to ask the two
This is
principals to
Africa
speak.
shit.
Yes, sir. Mr. President, first of all, thank you. When I first came on this job a few months ago, you made it very clear that one of the priority of this administration under your leadership was going to be the pursuit of peace. And from day one, whether it's been in Ukraine and Russia, whether it's been Pakistan, India, whether it's been Iran and Israel,
You know,
and in the
Africa
continent of
from
Africa, your
Toto?
priority's been on peace. And
You know
today
that
we
one
see
song?
this come to fruition. It's sad. Wars get a lot more attention than peace. But peace is harder than war, a lot harder. And I want to congratulate both
From
of the
the
leaders
rivers
here and
down
their
in
respective
Africa,
presidents for
yeah.
choosing the harder path, which is often peace, than the easier path, which sometimes is war, as costly and as bloody as it may be. And I echo the Vice President's statements, and that is that Americans should be very proud that the #1 voice for peace in the world today is our president, your president. And so thank you, President Trump. And I want to, again, recognize Dr. Boulos and the work he's put into this from day one. He's really put a lot of time and effort, and as our friends from the respective countries can share with us. And last point, I do want to thank, you've done this already, but the African
You
Union,
know the
Togo,
thing,
and
thing,
Qatar,
the- oh,
who
you
have been
know,
extraordinary partners,
you
and
know
whose help
the
we're going to
thing.
need to continue to receive in order to bring all this to fruition. So congratulations to both of you, and thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you. Great job you've done. Do you want to start? Either way, would you like to start?
Ladies first, maybe.
Okay.
Ladies first, there we go.
Very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. President, for having us here. I think I can summarize my contribution in 3 main points. First of all, thank you and congratulations indeed for this remarkable milestone, which is putting an end to 30 years of conflict and of suffering, and which is redefining the perspectives that millions of Congolese and of citizens of the greater Great Lakes region will have.
Why are you
The second
out of
point
touch?
is stay committed, stay on board. We need
I'm
the
just
United
kidding.
States to make sure that this agreement holds and that you hold us accountable. And the third point is, if you stay on board, I think there are so many perspectives that
Here
we
we
can
go.
transform our partnerships through, and that can usher in an era of prosperity, of growth, and of shared bilateral relationships that
wait.
go well beyond the challenges that
Wait,
we
is this
share
Washington
together,
Accord
and that
going
can
to
at
be
least
more?
or finally
seems like she
focus
wants
on
to
the
do, like,
potential
trade deals
and
or
of
something.
the wealth that we can share. So again, our heartfelt
She wants,
gratitude
like,
to
more
you
diplomatic
on my behalf,
ties.
But more importantly, on behalf of the people of the Democratic Republic of Congo. Thank you so much.
Beautifully spoken.
least from
and I
those
look forward
words.
to seeing your leader. They will, highly respected person, as you know.
Indeed.
Highly respected all over the world, but in Africa in particular. So sometime in July, we'll do something, big ceremony.
We look
Okay?
forward to it.
Thank you
so
very much. Please.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. This is indeed a historical day because it's the signing of a peace agreement between Congo and Rwanda to end a conflict that has been going on for 30 years. And there has been many mediation, facilitation in the past.
About joining
But
Phil's
none
Tell
of them
me
succeeded.
I'm a great
And,
cat
we
and
believe
join.
that
I
it's
know
because
damn
of
well that
your,
motherfucker is lying to me.
leadership
A
and
face
your
to get my money.
steadfast commitment to this process.
Well, I mean, you don't
with
know
also
till you
new
try,
approach of,
obviously.
economic
Also, it's a
integration, regional
school,
economic
so any
integration,
school's willing in to
which,
take in
is
any
important, to allow Rwanda and DRC
any
working
willing
together,
sucker
because this is a
willing to
very
give them
rich,
money,
region
right? I mean, it
with,
just
cross-border trade.
You want to
with
learn or
minerals,
not?
with,
That's just, it's a
natural
transaction.
wealth.
It's a
So
service.
with the U.S.
transaction.
Standing side by
Take
side
it or
with Rwanda
leave
and
it.
DRC, we believe that we will achieve
You
long-time
fucking scrawny kid.
peace. And we also believe
Stop
that,
being a
as my
peasant.
colleague from DRC stated, it's important for the United States to stay.
No kidding, but yeah, I mean, it's
because
just
today we
transaction.
signed,
It's a school.
But now we need to implement what we have
what do you mean?
signed in order to
They have to make
open
money
this new
somehow.
era we're talking about
Not free.
of prosperity, so that we can reap the economic dividend of peace. So for this economic integration framework
Gotta pay
to
tuition.
be implemented, it's important for the U.S. to accompany the parties to implement what we have signed, because in the past we have signed so many agreements that were not implemented. And we are really, we believe that with your leadership, with the involvement of the United States administration,
Just not
we
trying to
will,
get into
reach
depth.
that goal.
That's
So thank you
risky.
very
Well,
much,
that's
Mr.
why
President.
you need to make
Well, this
sure.
will
Do you
happen
have all the money
definitely.
prepared already?
I can reach over. Do you want
Do
to
you
just
need to find
press
a
them
job
over to
before
me?
you, right?
Let me have them.
Also,
And
you're
I
trying to
just
come
wanted
out
give
to,
you these,
right,
so you signed
to LA
agreements,
or some shit like that?
And
But
we'll
with
make sure that you follow through.
a
We'll make sure
limited
you
am-
follow through. We'll make sure that you
with a limited amount of money, it's like, yeah, no, that's not
And we have
prepared.
one other
You don't
thing
know.
that we're going to give. We'll give to special people only.
You know how much money school is? School is pretty fucking expensive, especially in California.
For your leader.
Oh, cool. Thank you very much.
And likewise, we'll do that. These are
Gonna move the
serious
SD
coins.
instead.
You don't want to lose them. You'll be very. I think that your reporter from Africa. should
Make
get
sure
one.
to
What do
look
you
up the
think?
poop
Is
map.
I saw.
I think yes. Are the
It will
reporters
do
okay
you
with it?
wonders.
Huh?
Yes.
Brian, yes. Darling, that's for you. Okay. You did a fantastic job.
Thank you.
And I heard you do a great job.
Oh, those are nice medals.
Thank you.
And Mr. President, we actually have the pictures that you took earlier
Oh,
of
let
the
me
foreign
see that.
ministers here already.
Thank you so much, Mr. President. Thank you.
Let me see that.
They're in this folder right here, sir.
Okay, this one?
Yes, sir.
Oh, they look better than me. I don't like it.
No, I don't like it.
That's beautiful. That's very good.
I can go back to my own baby steps. Yeah, like I said, it's better to go local
Beautiful. That's
because
great.
maybe you do have the money locally and you don't have to
You
fucking
better,
travel
I'll
so
tell you,
far.
You better do the job here. We're going to come down hard. It's beautiful. Thank you very much. So we'll put them in. That's for you.
I can do that. sir.
That's for you. This is for the Congo. And what is it? For the Congo. Yes. Okay. That's fine. Let's see, do we have two of them? I think so. He wouldn't give us one. He would have made a big mistake. Isn't that nice? That's for you.
LA is where everything is. Well, obviously,
And you're all
I mean,
set.
dude, just
and,
because of Hollywood.
This is for you.
What do
You
you?
can get this.
It's fucking goddamn
Thank you very much.
movie shenanigans capital.
Why not Canada, by the way?
Why?
I mean,
Because this is about a different subject right now. This is right now actually a much more important subject. We just ended a war that was going on for 30 years where 6 million people died. So don't ask me a trade question on Canada.
Mr. President, Kara Castronova from Lindell TV. Now that your administration, and congratulations, has secured peace in Africa to a bloody, horrific war that's gone on for decades and no other president
You're broke,
can do it.
brother.
Do you think the
All right,
mainstream
is all,
media
is
will
all I'm
finally-
trying to say.
telling you.
You're trying to come to Cali,
You're right. No,
or
the
not
president
Cali,
could do it. They
fucking
tried.
LA,
Well, they didn't even
where
try.
LA is like super kind of expensive.
I actually don't think they tried. Do you think Biden tried? He didn't.
And then you have to juggle paying for school, paying for rent,
The media will never
paying
give me
for
credit.
food. It's like, yeah,
But
dude,
the
you're
people
shooting
give me
yourself in the
credit. That's why
goddamn
I'm
foot.
here. The people didn't give me. That's why we're here in a landslide. We got all 7 states. We won the popular vote. So
Well,
the media
damn,
won't
when
give
you
me
say
credit,
that,
but the
I'm not
people
gonna
give me
try.
credit.
I'm
That's
just,
more important
I'm
than
just
the
telling you the reality.
also go down.
Yeah, I don't think you've really have you really prepared your financials for all this? Is what I'm trying to say.
We're on track right now to have the lowest murder rate in history in this country, and I think a lot.
Yeah, this shit's no joke.
We closed down the border. Did you want to comment on that? You might go down as the lowest murder rate in U.S. history.
Yeah, I saw that the other day, and it's an honor. I mean, and that's.
You'll
really,
need a roommate at your
even
place.
better
I don't know what
because,
the
we've
fuck you're
taken a lot
talking
of-
about.
illegals into the country through Biden.
My
through the
roommates
Biden
are my
administration
parents.
that,
Yeah, there's no room for
are
you here.
murderers, 11,888 to be exact. And many of them are now gone. We got rid of them. They're back where they belong. But so it's a great honor. You know, if you took that out, the numbers would be even better. They've created a lot of problems.
You truth social earlier about getting money to the air traffic controllers in the big beautiful bill, which hopefully
Gunning money,
comes
air
by.
traffic
We can get
controllers,
this
big
thing
beautiful
signed. What
bill.
does that mean to that industry that have been suffering the last couple of years?
Oh, with all the Boeing shit that's been happening.
Well, they've underfunded the airports for years, and I started the process of getting it
Bro, I'll cut
completed
your
in
grass
terms
for
of,
free. Won't even
the
know, and
equipment
I'll stay there
necessary
until
to
Trump
land the
gives me
planes,
my
where the
house.
planes
Yeah,
like the
right. That's not
helicopter
it. Yeah,
accident,
fuck
the
yeah.
plane would have
That
never
sounds like
happened
some
if they had the
fucking
right
dream you have.
Modern equipment. It would have been bells and whistles would have been going on all over the place. And I had that all set, but when I wasn't here, they totally dropped
Brother,
it.
you're not living
You
in
have a
reality.
terrible, head of transportation. We have a very good one now, Sean
That's
Duffy.
more than a pipe
But
dream.
you had Buttigieg, and he didn't know a damn thing. He'd ride to work on his bicycle. He didn't know what the hell was going on. He was terrible.
You
So he
are
totally
on
dropped
your
that. It was a
own,
project that
sir.
should have happened, and I was all set.
Good luck.
We had a very sad experience with the voting, and so we didn't get to do that. But now I'm doing it, and we're going to have a great system. And it's funded partially by the bill. It's the
what
initial
else
funding
is a
by the
pipe
bill, and then
dream?
it gets
You
to be
shut up.
funded. The rest of it comes a little bit later as we build it out.
No one wants to listen
But we're
to
going to
you.
build out the best in the world. We have the best companies in the world. A couple of countries have very good systems. In fact, I noticed when I was landing, my pilot often would use the
I'll leave
system
good.
of another country. And I said, what are you doing that for? He said, the United States system is so bad. So we have the best companies that do that in the world bidding. You have Raytheon, you have IBM, you have a lot of different companies bidding, and we'll get the best one, the best system, for the best price. And they're going to go to town and give us a system that will be better than any other system in the world. And you won't have planes bunking into each other at 35,000 feet.
Mr. President,
We're
on
gonna-
the subject of peace deals.
We're gonna make Raytheon and IBM better. We're gonna try and get someone to do better stuff for our
Often asked,
aircrafts.
and I think it's close. I just spoke with some of the people involved. And it's a terrible
gonna see if we
situation
can
that's
get some
going on.
upgrades
He's-
going.
He's asking about.
Basically.
And we think within the next week, we're going to get a ceasefire. And we're supplying, as you know, a lot of money and a lot of food to that area because we have to. I mean, you have to. We're, in theory, not involved in it, but we're involved because people are dying. And I look at those crowds of people that have no food, no anything, and, you know, we're the ones that are.
Oh, is he talking
doing it
about the
there.
stuff that recently happened?
Some of it's
Oh
been
well,
taken by
actually, this is
bad
the
people.
DRC
You know,
Rwanda
you
stuff.
give it and you give it out, and they're supposed
Uh,
to be
that's-
taking care of the people, and they.
'Cause
end
there's
up
a lot of
stealing the
places
food and
that are
selling it.
happening like that.
But we have a pretty good system now. But so we're helping with that. You see the lines of people that just get one meal essentially, but. It's too bad other countries aren't helping out. Nobody's helping out. We're doing that because I think we have to on a humanitarian basis. Like this, we didn't have to get involved in Africa.
Yeah, I
We
don't
did
think
because we thought it was-
France isn't
I mean, I've
helping
been
with
reading, like
Africa.
JD said he's you know,
Fucking, I don't think
much
the
of his
UK is
life,
helping
he's
with
been just
Africa.
saying this, about this brutal war, and it actually
Literally,
got a lot of,
literally,
publicity
the
because of
U.S.
the
is the
level of
only one
brutality.
helping
It
with
was-
Africa
it
in a
was-
sense.
Nobody's ever seen anything like it, and to be involved in that, I mean, I consider this the most important of my conferences today. We just had a great Supreme Court victory.
We literally
today,
have
and-
to clean up the
and
mess of
everybody
everyone
was
else
happy,
because
but,
they have like
you know,
no money.
We're talking about saving
Ah.
thousands and probably millions of lives here. This is more
I
important
know
than
they're
anything. So it's great. We're working on
Look
the
how
budget, trying to get it
selfish,
taken care
right?
of.
Other countries
And
are
again, you
compared
know,
to the
a lot
U.S.
A lot of food has been sent there. And other countries throughout the world should be helping also.
And on another conflict that I know you've been working on, sir, is it true that you have reached out with a letter to?
Yeah, and then Canada land wants us to help
Well,
us with
if there
their
is a
wants us to
conflict,
help
I get
with
along
their
with them
fucking
very,
bullshit.
very
Yeah,
well.
fuck them.
And we'll get the conflict
Fucking
solved
nuke
with
Canada
North
land.
Korea.
Fuck that
I've had a
place.
good relationship with Kim
Blame
Jong-un,
Canada.
And I've gotten along with him.
Motherfuckers
really
don't
well,
even
so we'll see what
pay for
happens.
their
But
own goddamn
as somebody's
defense.
saying there's a potential conflict. I think we'll work it out if there is. it wouldn't
Bunch
involve
of
us.
troons over there.
But, again, we're very far away from a lot of these places.
And then
that
they
we're
flood
solving
into the
problems
United
with.
States and then to
But
tell
I
us what
enjoy
to
doing
do.
it, I like doing it, and it's the right thing to do, and we're able, we
It's
have an
like, nah,
ability
get the
to
fuck
it
out of
done,
here. We're
so
not Canada
we're solving
land.
things
Fucking
that
faggots.
We didn't have a lot to do with Serbia, Kosovo. I told you, we solved a potential disaster. I can tell you that some of the countries that you're not going to hear about, but some countries that were ready to go to war with their neighbor are not going to go to war with their neighbor, and that's a great thing. We have a number of them. But I'm very happy about India and Pakistan because they actually have nuclear weapons. You know, when you talk about Iran, they were trying to get it, but India has nuclear weapons, Pakistan has nuclear weapons, high-level nuclear weapons both, and getting that solved was really great. We did it through trade, so it was a great thing.
Mr. President, when it comes to nuclear weapons, Mr. President, are you concerned that the Iranians may have some enriched uranium at Pickaxe Mountain?
No. The last thing they're thinking about right now is enriched uranium. They're not thinking about what they want to do is they want to get back to life, and they do want to meet me, and we'll do that.
Yeah, I mean, after fucking up everything, I mean, to try and get all that material back, that's a
They
fucking
may say that
doozy.
to you. Don't you think?
And then
don't you think we have
and then
sanctions
now
on them
the
that they
right.
can't
What if
do
the
anything?
United
you think
States
that
is
they
keeping a
wanna reach
closer
this?
eye on them now?
They're not
Also,
stupid people.
it's going to be
But they
much
went
harder
through a
for them
lot.
to acquire all that shit now.
And they suffered, and so did Israel. Israel suffered greatly. It was a
If
nasty
anything, it
12
just
days.
it just
And,
makes Iran look
we'll see
bad
what happens.
because now they're just under a microscope.
Are you considering sending Patriot missiles?
And that's
to
not what
Ukraine?
you
Have
want.
made up your mind about that yet?
You don't want to be under surveillance 24/7, yo. That doesn't feel good. They fucking figure out where you shit, sleep, right? Where you piss, where you hide.
Well, let me ask you that question. You want to answer
I don't
that
think you
one?
want
Sounds
that.
like an interesting question for you. Go ahead, please.
Thank you very much. In the agreement we signed, we have taken the concept of operation for the neutralization of the FDLR, which is a vicious genocidal movement, and the lifting of Rwandan defensive measures. So this was already signed last year in November, so we will implement it. This concept of operation to do both things, to neutralize this movement, which has been destabilizing Rwanda for many years, and to lift our defensive measures. As for the M23, in the agreement also, we have decided to rely on the Doha talks because they are currently
Yeah, I can't expect
talks
this
between
war
the
to do
AFC
anything for
M23
them,
and
especially
the
for
DRC
30
government
years.
to have a
Like,
peace
I don't think they.
that will complement
I don't think
the
they're
Washington,
making money from
peace
this.
agreement. So both things are taken care of.
Versus when it comes to like the U.S. and like
We're
how
working
we're
with
in
them
like
to
those
get it
proxy
enforced.
wars.
They can
right?
enforce their own agreement, but we'll
That
be
shit's a lot
putting
different.
a lot of pressure on to make sure it gets enforced. The two people
Because
in
you
this
have
room are
a
very, very
right, you have a
capable
country
people,
that's like
and they'll get it done. I think they'll get it
either
done.
asking for
They love
aid
it.
or
One thing I
buying
learned very
aid,
quickly
right?
is how much you love your country and you want to get it done. And they know it has to get done, otherwise bad things happen. But I think we're well beyond that. Other presidents should have done what I'm doing right now. They never did it. I don't think they ever tried. I don't think it's like they couldn't do it. I don't think they ever tried. And if they did, they wouldn't be able to do it anyway.
On the president,
Yes, thank you. Mr. President, can you share with us what can happen if one of the parts violate this peace agreement? Because we don't want war to come back to.
Oh
I'd
shit!
rather
She
not
popped the
say-
question.
I would just say that there are big penalties if they violate, and they're not going to, I don't think they will violate. I think they mean it, but we have very severe penalties, financial and otherwise. Okay?
Financial penalties and otherwise. That means we could potentially knock out some leaders. Just like Israel did, right?
Canada put a charge on some of our
Fucking blasted
companies,
so
and
many of
Canada's
those
been a very
fucking
difficult country to
Iranian
deal
leaders.
with,
Holy fuck.
over the years.
Just knocking out
we
the
in Canada,
fucking
we have a
chain
great
of
relationship
command
with the people
one
in
by
Canada, but
one.
it's been very
Fucking
difficult,
hell.
And they put a charge, and they were a little bit early. We found out about it. So,
Just fucking
and we have all the
nuking them.
cards.
Or
We
well,
have
I
every
shouldn't say
single
nuke,
one.
but
We don't
bombing
want to do
them.
anything bad, but they have economically, we have such power over Canada. I'd rather not use it, but they did something with our tech companies today trying to copy Europe. You know, they copied Europe. It's not going to work out well for Europe either.
Oh,
And
oh
it's
yeah.
not gonna work out well for
Didn't
Canada.
didn't
They were
Trump
foolish to
like
do it.
cancel
So I
Canada's
said, we're gonna
like
stop all
trade deals because
negotiations
they
with
were trying to
Canada
do
right
something
now until they,
shifty?
straighten out
Yeah,
their
yeah,
act.
yeah.
Well, no, they put a tax on companies that were American companies that they shouldn't. Very severe tax. And,
Oh, they put more tax
I guess they
on
could remove it.
on
They will,
American
but I don't
companies.
really- I mean, it doesn't matter to me. We have
Oh.
all the cards.
Oh,
We have
fucking
all the cards.
Canada.
You know, we
Sneaky,
do
sneaky
a lot of
bastards,
business
eh?
with Canada, but
You
relatively
can't trust
little. They do
Canadians, yeah?
Most of their business is with us.
Hey there, man, yeah.
And when you have that circumstance, you treat people better.
Can't
They've
trust
got
them
farmers,
Canadians.
that are getting like 300, 400, 200% in tariffs. Nobody's ever seen anything like it. We have cases, you don't read this and the people don't report, but they charge us.
Yeah, whoever's a
400% on
Canadian,
some,
go find a cliff and jump off
dairy
of it.
products. 400%. Nobody writes that. It's not fair to our farmers, and we've got to protect our farmers.
Sir, you just.
You guys elected a fucking retard, by the way.
A rate cut which would do to the interest on the debt. Earlier today,
I don't even know if you guys even elected him. He seemed to like come into power on his own. I don't even think Canada land has a democracy.
Well, I don't have a comment. I'd love him to resign if he wanted to. He's done a lousy job. Look, if you were there, you'd say, well, you know, the United States is doing well. They have no inflation. And if they do get inflation in a year or two, we'll start raising the rates. We'll get rid of the inflation, you know, and do other things. Biden had the worst inflation in the history of our country. 19%, but I think it was much higher than that. Frankly, they say 19%. I say, I think it's a lot higher than that. And we have almost no inflation now. We've done a great job in a short period of time. Energy prices are way down. Gasoline now is down to close
Yeah,
to $2
oh yeah,
in a
my
lot of
gas
places.
price,
A
my gas
couple of
price today was like what? 4.29. I was like, oh goddamn, that's some cheap gas. Too bad it's not cheaper.
places. I see it even broke. It's like $1.98 a gallon. We've
Ain't
done a
cheaper,
great
damn
job on
it.
inflation and honestly, pretty much everything else. I think that I think it's very sad the way people.
$4.29 a gallon.
A guy in there that
So
with the stroke
basically
of a pen
$4.30 a
could
gallon.
lower interest rates and save us hundreds of billions of dollars a year.
And that's
But he's a stupid person.
the highest
You know,
octane
it's very
I could get.
interesting. He, I'm not sure if he doesn't understand it, because you should be able to understand it. It's sort of 101 economics, but I'm not sure of that. But think of it, with the stroke of a pen, he talks about costs. We can save $600 billion, maybe even, these are nice numbers for you, right?
A stroke of a pen.
$950 billion by lowering interest rates. And it's really just more of a paper movement. It's not like you're not cutting anything, you're not cutting jobs, it's just interest rates. And we're number 40 or 44, number 45. Some places that you wouldn't believe that, you know, I don't want to be disparaging, but they pay a lower interest rate than the United States of America. And without us, everything blows up. You know, we sort of control the world in that sense. But we have a guy that's just a stubborn mule and a stupid person.
I think he's talking about the
making a big
Federal
mistake.
Reserve.
He's making a mistake. And it lasts for years because when you do the debt. Now, I've instructed my
Or
people not
the
to do
feds,
any debt
that's
beyond
third-party feds.
9 months or so. Get this guy out. And whoever is in there will lower rates. If I don't, if I think somebody's going to keep the rates where they are or whatever, I'm not going to put them in. I'm going to put somebody that wants to cut rates. There are a lot of them out there. And I said this morning, a lot of the business shows today were saying, you know, Trump is right. He should be cutting rates. Think of it. We have a great country. We're making a lot of money. We're taking in billions of dollars in tariffs. We have $15 trillion of money that wants to be invested here, which is a record. In 2 months, it breaks any record that we've ever had for a whole year, and not even close.
You
15
tell
trillion.
them.
And it's going to be
Shut
much
the
higher
fuck
than that.
up.
That's after essentially 2 months, because, you know, we've been doing it for about 2 months, 2.5 months. $15 trillion breaks every record in the book. There's never been anything like this. We have factories moving in. We have car plants moving in. We have everyone wants to be part of the United States. And as I told you, and I say it to everybody, when I was in the Middle East, the King of Saudi Arabia, and Qatar, and UAE, all great leaders, they have all great leaders. All three of them said, you got the hottest country in the world, and you did it in, at that time I was there for 4 months, because we got back a little while ago. But everybody says it, not only them. We have the hottest country in the world right now. The only thing is we have a Fed chairman that is, he doesn't get it. And you could have substantially lower. Like if we cut him 2 points, would save more than 600, think of it, more than $600 billion just because you cut. But you can't go out to the market and say, well, we have a guy that's got us at 4% or 4.5%, and we want to pay 2% or 1%. I think we should be paying 1% right now. And we're paying more because we have a guy who's, suffers from, I think, Trump derangement syndrome, if you want to know the truth.
Yeah.
But he's not good for our country.
The president of UK.
No,
Did you push
not
the
you,
president
not you.
A related question on banking.
No, not you. The other person, not you.
Issuing an executive order about
Gotcha.
banking, which is the practice of banks denying services based on people's political beliefs or industries such as crypto, people involved in that. Would you be open or interested to sign such an executive order targeting debanking and what might?
Well, I think the debankers, I think that banks, I can tell you because I.
Well, the issue is, right, the person that they had all of their, right, assets with were Sam Bankman-Fried, right?
People that told
Literally
them
all the
because
Democrats, a
group
lot of
people, the banks are
fucking,
afraid of the regulators. They are petrified of the
a lot of
regulators.
I've
seen the
right,
biggest banker.
entertainment
I can tell you, you see him
stars,
on
a
television
lot of
all the time. If a
athletes
regulator
too.
walked into the room, he
Like they
gets
had a lot of
all nervous
assets
and
in
crazy.
fucking, right,
They're afraid of the
SBF's
regulators.
bullshit,
And
and
if the Biden
then they
people
lost
order
it
the
all.
Banks to be virtually closed, they could do anything they want. The regulators control the banks. It's not the president of the bank. The president of the bank is far less important to a bank than a regulator, and a regulator can put that bank out of business, just like.
I bet even some Republicans lost their shit.
Jack Smith and some others.
I mean, even though
And,
some
we
right,
kicked
some
their ass, but it
Republicans
was,
don't believe
it's
in
a
that
tough
shit.
kind of a
but-
situation.
I'm pretty sure there's
Prosecutors are
some
very
progressive
dangerous. Great
Republicans who
prosecutors are
actually
amazing
invested in
asset for a
crypto,
country, but
especially
a
with the
corrupt
SBF.
prosecutor, a bad prosecutor is very bad. Well, the regulators are the same thing, and when they tell the regulator to go and make life impossible for big banks or little banks, they really control it. So there is a lot of debanking, and they call it debanking, call it a lot of different names. Essentially, they make it impossible to do business, and those people are very bad and very dangerous, and they shouldn't be doing it.
Oh yeah. Oh, they went into that fucking business to fuck with people, literally. Why else would they do that shit?
The bill isn't passed. Where does that number come from?
Well, it comes from the fact that you have automatically the Trump cuts, which were the biggest cuts that we've ever had. Now, these cuts are even bigger, but from the last administration, we had the Trump cuts. It was a 5-year deal, and it comes due. When you add that to the cuts that you already have and other things, it amounts, according to what they tell me, about 68%. That would mean you'd have a tax, so that you know that the tax cuts that they got, the biggest tax cuts in our history, would immediately go up to that level. And that alone is a big chunk of the 68%. And then you have the other taxes that would accumulate. And they say that you'd have about a 68% tax increase.
Sir, you said a moment ago that it won't work out very well for Europe on trade. Does that mean you want to cut off those negotiations as well and just tell them what?
No, well, they've been very tough. The European Union was formed in order to.
I mean, the EU's been. I don't even know what the fucking EU's doing. They have like their own like interests that they're trying to push, right? With like Ursula and Macron and shit. I don't even know what the like. Those people are trying to like destroy their own fucking countries.
If you look at past presidents, they've treated them
I was
very
like, yeah, I don't know what these people.
Because I get it, I know the system, and we have the cards. We have the cards far more than they do, and they have not treated us well, and they're coming to us right now. You know, I said I was going to put on a 50% tariff. As soon as I said that, I put it out on Truth. As soon as I said that, they came to the table. They didn't want to come to the table. My people were telling me, Scott, was telling me, and the whole group was
Honestly,
telling
I
me
think
that,
they want the Ukraine war. I think they
not a
want
good
to push into
situation.
Russia.
They want to tap it down the line. They don't want to really deal.
Because
So I said, we're gonna put a 50%
even Zelensky was all
tariff
like, "What do you help me
Then
push
Howard,
into
as you
Russia
know,
to get
was,
these
very much
children
involved,
back?"
Lutnick,
Like what?
Commerce.
Shit.
And he said, they don't want to talk.
Huh?
As soon as I put that on, I was getting calls from them like, can we meet tomorrow?
All right, when he
And,
tried to pull that shit in the
problem
fucking
is
White
They have a
House.
lot of very unfair taxes. They have a lot of taxes that you wouldn't put on, and they sue all our companies. They're
After
constantly
that,
suing
fucking Trump was
Apple,
like, pulled
Google, and
pulled a
all of
bunch of
these companies,
Zelenskys
and
afterwards.
they're getting, in front
Because
of
fucking
judges that
Zelensky pulled that
essentially
shit.
almost
Yeah.
work for them. I guess they do work for them. They're European Union judges, and they're getting these crazy rewards. Apple was fined $17 billion, and others are being fined tremendous numbers of dollars. They're nasty people, and I don't want them affecting U.S. companies. I don't want that. If anybody's going to affect a U.S. company, I want it to be us. And if they're going to have to pay a penalty or a fine, let it be to us. So they've done this for a long time, for years, but they're very nasty. The European Union's very nasty. There's no question. But
The
they'll learn
EU's
not to
very
be so
nasty.
very soon.
The
They know that. They
EU
know
very
it's coming.
nasty.
That Vladimir Putin reached out to you to help you with the Iran crisis.
We made some nice statements today. Did you see the statements? Very nice. Vladimir Putin made some very nice statements today. Look, he respects our country again. He didn't respect it a year ago.
Yeah,
I can
North
tell you
Korea
right now.
was coming in
But
like,
Putin
"Hey,
respects
stop
our
fucking with the
country.
rent." It's like,
And,
fuck you,
President
North Korea.
Xi Jinping
Suck my
respects our
dick.
country. And Kim Jong-un respects. They respect our country again. We were not a country that was respected just a year ago. We had a president that was incompetent. We had bad people circulating around this desk, this beautiful, resolute desk. They had, I guess, evil intentions. You couldn't be that stupid. I mean, they had evil intentions.
Yeah, literally all the dictatorial right
the world
countries
respects
were like,
our
"Please
country
stop
again."
messing
Thank
with
you very much,
Iran."
everybody.
It's like, dude, you motherfuckers.
Congratulations.
You pieces of
Thank you very much.
shit.
Keep going. Thanks, guys. Thanks, everybody. Right through here. Thank you.
Right, you had Iran, right, you had China say something, you had Russia say something, you had North Korea say something. It's like, you motherfuckers. You pieces of filth. Fucking worry about your own bullshit. I mean, they probably spoke up because they probably had some kind of interest, right? With Iran fucking with everything. But yeah, there you have it. Yeah, I mean, right, Trump didn't even know a lot of the stuff was going on in the Africa. That's why he's all like, yeah, I don't know what the hell's going on. Shit just popped off, and I was getting calls to help out. I was like, oh, yeah, sure. That's practically what he said. It was like, oh, yeah, I kept getting calls and stuff. So I was like, okay, yeah. It was the same with the refugees. Why did he help the refugees? Probably because he got a call from over there and was like, oh, yeah, we'll help, I guess. But yeah, there you have it. There you have it. Give a like and subscribe. Much appreciated. Peace out.